Yeah, just introduce
Hi,
yourself.
my name's Adam,
And I'm Derek.
and we are part of Pioneer International. Derek looks after neighbouring markets. I look after him. Okay, enough. We spent the whole day today in the Cape Town office. I have to say it's a rare opportunity to be able to sit down and look at the business from not just a purely commercial, operational perspective. One of the biggest takeouts for me today was the synergy between the business. We've always looked at, certainly in my markets, at marketing as being a very tactical, trade marketing orientated. We've never looked at the synergy between saying, is it even conceivably possible to have a look at the above the line, linking that down into below the line, having pricing promotions, bringing in the seasonality. And the biggest part of it was there's a sense of belief in that once this is done and costed out correctly, and we have the right market data, we'll be able to actually measure this from an ROI perspective, which is one of the biggest things that's frustrated me for the longest time. So I feel a lot of work to be done, too much to be done in one day, but I do feel for the first time that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a possibility that we can actually bring this thing home and bring in the market share growth that we've been looking for such a long time. So I found it incredibly informative. But I do think that it's a thing that needs to be promulgated as much as you can, because I think it's got to become part of the ethos. You've got to live and breathe this. It can't just be a bolt-on. It's got to be fundamental to everything that we do.
So basically moving from a trading environment to a marketing, market growth,
so. And I think
sell out compared to sell in.
Yeah. And I think one of the things in my markets, because so many of them are fundamentally trading markets, but the 3 or 4 that are not then get lumped into that trading market mentality, and that's been what's wrong.
So you've been missing opportunity.
Exactly. So hive them off, trade where you trade, and bring that level of science to the ones that need it.
Thank you. Derek.
Cool. So a lot of similar points from Adam to raise, but I think from my side, just over an 18-month period of moving the Pioneer International business from primarily a trading entity into a more strategic, but at the same time focusing on priority markets. I think what Tess has given us is some pragmatic tools to actually go out and execute this. There's always the nice theory of talking about it, but now actually going out to do it. So having the specific tools, consistently looking at pre and post evaluation with the same tool rather than everyone doing it on their own way. At the same time also planning your activity grid, thinking about exactly what your objectives are, who the consumer is, what is the strategy, what are the tactics and everything, and working through this and then prioritizing. For me, the tools that you've given us are going to not only help us actually start to do this, but start to do it on a more consistent way across the company rather than without many best practices in place. Currently, everyone was doing things on their own way based on the experiences from different companies, and there was people coming from multinationals, from small family businesses, and it was really just very, everyone was doing it in haphazard sort of way. At least now we've kind of taken a consistent approach to prioritizing, and then...
and what do you think that's going to give the company, having a consistent way of...
Yeah, so I think it's going to help us internally make sure we're
measurable base. We're actually able to measure something that's consistent for a prolonged period of time, rather than this ad hoc innovation that we keep putting on the table.
Yeah, and I think especially for companies with limited resources, making sure you're spending that time, money, and effort in the right places is critical, rather than just kind of replicating what you did in the past.
You're getting the best bang for buck.
Exactly. And I think it's also important to realize, like, for example, with our portfolio, there's 60 countries. We're only going to spend money between 4 or 5 of them, and the rest...
Don't give away the whole strategy here.
Exactly. If you can't do it properly, rather let's get the big opportunities right first, than try and do everything half-baked kind of thing.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And last FYI, for seeing we're the ones that came before, and for whoever's going to see this later coming after, just please, if there's more than one person, don't go first like I did. The second person always sounds so much more intelligent and professional than the first person. So let that be another learning. Thank you.
Ciao, thanks.